Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're back once again with another amazing science tutorial video. I'm Coach Spivey, joined with my son Jordan Spivey, and in this video tutorial, we're going to be looking at electromagnetic waves versus mechanical waves. So let's get started. So the first and foremost thing that we need to know is that all waves carry energy. It doesn't matter if it's a mechanical wave or an electromagnetic wave, all waves carry energy. Now, the biggest difference between mechanical waves and electromagnetic waves is that mechanical waves require a medium in order for them to travel. So they need a solid liquid or gas to travel through. And in electromagnetic waves, they do not require a medium to travel through. So they don't require a solid liquid or gas to travel through. They can travel through the vacuum of space to get to Earth. And now let's look at a graphic organizer for mechanical waves and electromagnetic waves. And if you notice, with mechanical waves, we said they require a medium in order for them to travel through. And you have two types of mechanical waves. You have longitudinal waves. An example of a longitudinal wave would be a sound wave. So a sound wave would look like this. And then you have a transverse wave. An example of a transverse waves are water waves, which these are the type of waves that most people are used to. And if we look at electromagnetic waves, they do not require a medium in order to travel. And some examples of electromagnetic waves are light, microwaves, infrared, X-rays, ultraviolet rays, and radio waves. And all electromagnetic waves are transverse waves. So now let's focus specifically on mechanical waves. And there are two main types of mechanical waves. You have transverse and longitudinal waves. So we'll look at longitudinal waves first. A longitudinal wave is a wave vibrating in the direction of propagation. And propagation is basically the way a wave travels. So for example, a sound wave would be a longitudinal wave. And if we take a look at this following longitudinal wave, it has several characteristics. So first, let's start off with compression. And compression is where this longitudinal wave is pressed together. And then our next characteristic will be a rarefaction. And this is where the wave is actually spread out or spread apart. So the compression is where the wave is pressed together. The rarefaction is where the wave is spread out. And here's another compression as well. So you see right here that the wave is pressed together right here as well. Our wavelength is going to be from compression to compression, or it can be from rarefaction to rarefaction. So in this example, we're looking at from compression to compression for our wavelength. Our amplitude is going to be from the middle part of the wave to the top of the wave, or it can be from the middle part of the wave to the bottom of the wave. And if you notice, in a longitudinal wave or a sound wave, the displacement of air molecules, it actually goes from right to left. So when you speak to someone, the air is compressed and it moves forward in that manner. So you have compressed air followed by spaced out air, then more compressed air as well. So now let's take a look at an example of a longitudinal wave. Now if you notice, there's that compression of that wave. So there's the compression, and then the rarefactions are the part where it's spread out. And that's how our sound is communicated to someone, through those compressions. And now let's take a look at mechanical transverse waves. And a transverse wave is a wave vibrating at right angles to the direction of its propagation. And once again, propagation is just the way a wave travels. Now, it's key to note that a longitudinal wave travels parallel, and a transverse wave travels at right angles, or it travels perpendicular to its propagation. So that's the difference in the way those waves travel. So if we take a look at a transverse wave, it has several properties as well, similar to a longitudinal wave, with a couple of differences. So let's start off by looking at the amplitude. And the amplitude is from the rest point of the wave, this middle part, to the top of the wave, or it can be from the rest point of the wave to the bottom of the wave. And one thing to note is that the higher the amplitude, the more energy that it's carrying. So if this was higher, that means it will be carrying more energy. And then our wavelength would be from crest to crest, or it can be from trough to trough. And the top of our wave will be actually called our crest. And on this wave it says peak, but crest and peak are the exact same thing. And then at the bottom of the wave, these are called troughs. And in order to have one complete wave cycle, as a rule of thumb, I always like to say up, down, up, and that would be one cycle. So if we look at this wave right here, up, down, up, there's one cycle, up, down, up, there's two cycles, up, down, up, there's three cycles. So that means you have three complete waves in this wave train. And so now let's do an overview for mechanical waves. So we said that longitudinal waves travel parallel, and let me put that up here. And they travel parallel to the medium. What that means is that they travel side by side. So they travel parallel to the medium. And we said transverse waves actually travel perpendicular to the medium. So let me put that up here as well. And when we say perpendicular, that means they travel at right angles to the medium. So they're traveling at right angles. And if you notice, in longitudinal waves, you have the compressions where they're pressed together, and then you have the rarefactions where they're spread out. Here's another compression as well. And this is how air molecules travel through these compressions. So an example of a longitudinal wave would be a sound wave. That would be an example. And then if we take a look at transverse wave, we said they travel perpendicular. And here's our amplitude of our transverse wave. And remember, we said the higher our amplitude, the more energy it's carrying. And that could be said, that's the same for both longitudinal and transverse waves. Here's the crest or the top of our transverse wave. And then here's the trough of our transverse wave. Our equilibrium is also known as our rest point, and that's the middle part of this wave. And then our wavelength can be from crest to crest or from trough to trough. And then in order to determine the number of waves we can go from our compression to compression on a longitudinal wave, but on a transverse wave, we will actually look at up, down, up. That'll be one wave, up, down, up, two waves, up, down, up, three waves for a transverse wave. So now let's go ahead and take a look at how each one travels. Once again, we said transverse waves, they travel perpendicular, so they travel at right angles. If you notice, it travels at right angles to the medium. And then a longitudinal wave, notice that they travel parallel to the medium. So look at this longitudinal wave, it's traveling parallel to the medium. And now let's look at mechanical wave speed. And basically, mechanical waves travel fastest in solids and slowest in gases. So if you notice, sound waves travel slowest through gases, faster through liquids, and fastest through solids. And the reason why is because, remember, mechanical waves need a medium in order to travel. Well, if we look at how the particles are set up in solids, the particles are close together, they're tightly packed. So it's easier for those waves to travel in the solids because the solid particles are closer together. But when we get into liquids, the particles are spread further apart. So it slows down that wave since those particles are further apart. And then if we look at gases, they're the most spread out or the most farthest apart. So that's why mechanical waves travel the fastest in solids, because the particles are so close together. And that's why they travel the slowest in gases, because the particles have more distance between them. Now let's focus on electromagnetic waves. And these are waves that can travel through the vacuum of outer space. And the way they're able to do this is because, remember, they don't require a medium or a solid, liquid, or gas to travel through. And electromagnetic waves travel by transferring energy between vibrating electric and magnetic fields. So let's take a look at this example below. So here are these vibrating electric and magnetic fields, and that's how those waves travel. And remember, all the electromagnetic waves are transverse waves, which means that they travel perpendicular to the medium, or they travel at right angles to the medium, which is what you just saw in this example. And electromagnetic wave speed is they travel at 300,000 kilometers per second, and that's actually at the speed of light. And electromagnetic waves slow down in a medium, so they travel fastest in gases and slowest in solids. So this is the exact opposite of mechanical waves. So for example, In the vacuum of space, they travel at 300,000 kilometers per second. But if you look in air or look in the gas, they travel less than 300,000 kilometers per second. And then as we move to water, they travel at a lower speed at 226,000 kilometers per second. And then we look at glass, 200,000 kilometers per second. And then if we look at diamond, which is one of the hardest solids on Earth or known to man, they travel the slowest at 124,000 kilometers per second. So fastest in a vacuum or fastest in air or gas, and then slowest through solids. So let's talk briefly about the electromagnetic spectrum. And these are all the different types of waves in the electromagnetic spectrum. So we have radio waves, microwaves, infrared, visible light, ultraviolet, X-ray, and gamma rays. And if you notice, the longer the wavelength, the lower the frequency, and also the less energy that they're carrying. And then as we go from left to right, the shorter the wavelength, the higher the frequency, and consequently, the more energy that they're carrying. Now it's time for your check for understanding. And you're going to read the following wave descriptions and write whether they are mechanical or electromagnetic waves based upon your knowledge of waves. Go ahead and pause the video now, and I'll come around from desk to desk to make sure that you're on point and that you're understanding the learning for today. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Coach Spivey, sign off with my son Jordan Spivey. I just want to let you know that you're loved and you are valued. And remember, stay positive and wonderful, awesome things will always come your way. Peace. Have a good day.